Alrighty, guys. So we're moving on to the next video, and we are laying rocker. How about them apples? Had to do some minimal trimming. Again, I was discussing in the earlier video how I needed to trim here because this sticks out a whole lot further. If you look on the passenger side there, you can see very minimal, nothing much, nothing crazy, nothing, oh my God, I got to redo the entire floor. None of that. So very pleased about that aspect. Backside looks really good. Let's see if we can look down through here. Oh yeah, very minimal. I was telling Scotty about that floor brace that we were going to have to trim a pocket for that floor brace, for the chassis to fit through. So almost there, man. Very close, very close. This is 2x4 manual bent chassis rails, and it looks really good, man. Looks really, really good. Very pleased. Moving right along. Now we're going to start the stiffeners on the inside of the chassis. I got one sitting here on the floor. I wanted to show something really quick. Let me grab my tape measure. Okay. Yeah, baby. All right, so stiffeners. So now we're at a point deciding on the width of the stiffener. So we're going to take a measurement. Oh, wrong. There we go. Now, I'm coming up with a good 10 inches. This portion's a little higher. So by going inside of this divot, the edge of it will be about to here where my finger is. We're laying on our back. It's easier this way. 10 inches is going to put it, the edge of the stiffener, right about here. This is almost like a concave pocket. So what I'm thinking is this section of the floor is going to get cut out, and I'm going to redo this entire section, obviously because we channeled it. A rough cut just to get the chassis rails through. And over here, we don't have any issues. So staying within this boundary will give me some meat on the floor, and I can just make, a new panel over here. I think we're going to be good here, except for that brace. I might have to work around that, but we'll see. It's not the end of the world if I have to channel a section of the floor right there. The other thing is you can see the body mount right here. That's going to need a little bit of working, not much, but that's where we're going to start on the back side of this body mount, the stiffener. All right, 6 feet. There it is. Back side of the chassis mount, body mount to here, which is front side of the rear body mount. I don't know if you can see it right there in the corner. This is a little tricky to cut in the chop saw. I needed 10 inches, pretty big. Obviously, it's got to get trimmed down. So what I did was I used my saw cut lines in the floor as a reference, marked out 10 inches, took my straight edge. So we're going to cut it up, and we're going to lay it on the chassis. Something to keep in mind, obviously, it sticks out like a sore thumb, the seam right here. Well, this is the top side of the stiffener. Obviously, I went with the stiffener laying on its belly because of clearance issues. I'm not trying to create more work than I need. So running the stiffener across the side will strengthen up, the majority of the length of the chassis. And then what I'll do is I'll put a brace or two inside of here to connect the chassis to. So kind of makes sense now. I need to cut a couple of braces to go in between, probably two. Do one here and one here, measure them out. Give you a nice overview of how it all looks. Also, you can see we've got an engine sitting in there. Extremely tight. Extremely tight. Engine is sitting at 4 degrees, 4.5 degrees. I kind of would like to get it a little bit lower. So I have the engine sitting higher than I wanted to, for the simple fact that I was trying to get these headers to fit. All right, so next on the agenda is going to be the tranny cross member. I'm going to have to order a mount. Going to do a tubular mount with some 3-inch. I got to find out which exhaust he's running, but I think he's going to be running a 3-inch cutouts for the pipes to come through inside of the chassis here. I like it, looking really good. And it's a bummer, but you know, shit happens. That's trying to fit 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag. I'm going to lower the body to see how she fits on the firewall. I might have to slide the cross member forward a little bit, but we'll find out shortly. I'd like to show you a couple of things. So these are called frame stiffeners. And the reason I added these, clearly you can see the distance between this bend and that bend. I want to say that's a good 10 feet, give or take, maybe 9 feet. So there's a lot of flex in these rails right here. So the stiffener's goal is to, hence the name stiffener, stiffen the center of the chassis. Now, keep in mind, we still have some space right here that still needs to be stiffened. And I'll show you later how I'm going to handle this aspect of it. But currently, what I did was I cut these on a 45. I thought it would look a whole lot nicer, and man, it looks fucking bitchin'. Pardon my French, but only way to describe it, it looks really good. Standing up from an aerial view, you can clearly see. I mean, it doesn't get any more sexier than that. I'm sorry. That's gorgeous. So currently working on the transmission cross member. Wanted to go over a few things, what's going through my mind. So I left us some space right here, made some plates. Okay, these plates are going to slide inside of here, which would approximately be about here, just give or take. Got to drill some holes through the chassis, and then once I have my holes, I can weld this to here. Currently, I am working on, which I'm going to show you in just a second, the mount for the transmission. But the beauty of this is, obviously, number one, it's removable. And number two, which I didn't show you just yet, which I'm going to, this is going to get cut and welded a piece through the tubing for his exhaust to run through. Obviously, this is shit you got to keep in mind. Exhaust manifold is going to come down 45 straight down to a 45 into or through, I should say, transmission mount, X pipe, whatever, mufflers, pipes going up and over, dual exhaust, sexy, rum rum, you know what I mean? So currently I wanted to go over how I'm going to make the transmission mount. So I'll show you in just a second. I know it's not really exciting, but it's better than me walking around talking. I'm actually showing you how I do something. So we're going to go in 1.5 inches. Then we're going to come in 1.5 inches on this side. That'll leave us 5 inches in between. Okay, our mount is approximately 5 inches. So what we're going to do is, I'm sure you can play a game of connect the dots with me here now. We take our adjustable speed square. This thing is phenomenal. I highly recommend you going to the hardware store and picking yourself up one of these. I used to have another one that was larger, but it kind of got bent up, so I need to buy another one. But anyway, so we're going to square a line right across. I'm going to square a line. This is our bend line, okay? Our mount has one hole in the center. I'll make that, you know, later on adjustable so she can move forwards and backwards. But we're going to use our nifty Eastwood bender here. I find myself using this more now that I have this tool. I never used the press until I bought this. Oddly enough, a little handle. We're going to size our line up. Make sure we're even. Yep. And we're going to bend this to 45 degrees. Let's get our digital angle finder. Knock the dust off of it because I haven't used it in a hot minute. We're going to set this on here like so. Get you in here and we're going to bend it till it stops at 45. Obviously, it's not rocket science. We don't want to which gave us 90. That's okay though. It's fine. Not the end of the world. Same thing. Now we made ourselves a transmission mount, just like that. Now, if you want to get fancy, which I'm not going to get fancy because you're not going to see it, you could 45 the corners. Maybe I'll do that. Not a bad idea. So we'll take our speed square, you know, like we put a little bit of time into it and didn't kind of half-ass it. I just did that wrong. See, I'm chit-chatting and I would have messed that up. Here we go. There. We'll cut these off and it'll make it look all pretty. And then our transmission mount will sit right on here like so. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And we'll do one of these like this. You get the point. But there we have it. Made myself a transmission mount. Moving right along. Got our cross member made up. I'm not sure where I'm putting the engine. If I'm gonna leave it in this height, this position, or if I'm gonna lower it down a little bit, waiting on some headers. But our mount is basically ready to go. If need be, if it was gonna be this high, I can simply just weld the plate on the back of it and then weld the plate to the cross member, but we're ready to go. Fixing to cut exhaust through holes in here, measure the distance, split it, and that's basically right in the middle. So I'll pull this cross member out, hole saw through, and the way I do it is I'll run a longer bit as a pilot. This way I can get a straight, because it's obviously on an angle. It's slightly difficult doing it, but just use a longer bit, drill our, trace our line, find center, drill out, run the bit through, and just take my time and get a nice clean cut straight through, just like I've done on the wagon. So moving right along, we've got transmission cross member done. We've got engine mounts done. And now we're working on getting the body to fully fit and sit on the chassis. Just wanted to show you all my beginning start of my sticker collection. Got some pretty cool stickers up here. Oh shit, there he is. Oh, there he is. Oh, there he is. Yeah, got some cool stickers. Again, let me know if you all want some of these made. If you're interested, grabbing some of these stickers. $100 a piece for them. This is because now it's a collector's item, so we're looking to get $100 a piece for those stickers. But I'm teasing. Yeah, so here we got our cross member done. I wanted to have this removable, so I drilled out some 1/2-inch bolts in this plate, and I just got to finish, the cross member. But exhaust cutouts look really good. That's a lot of work right there. Probably a good 10 hours worth of work. Grinding, cutting, welding, in that one piece right there. These are the headers we're going to go with. These are like a hooker style header. Obviously clearance. Frame is really narrow. I want to say it's 29 inches from rail to rail because of riding real low. Got our engine mounts tacked up. And these are made by hand. I wish I had a CNC table, but it's all good, It's got to start somewhere. So right now, I'm getting ready to drill out all the rivets on the hump. There's quite a few of them there. I'm going to cover the engine up, climb up in here, start drilling. I want to separate that because I want to chunk out the floor probably to about here. I want to say it was. I got to drill this out, whatever this is, heat shield or something. Oh no, that's for a seat. Ah, yeah, seat brackets are right here. Interesting. This is going to be really interesting. Huh. Okay. Well, yeah, that's one of the things I need to do. I may not. I may do it right here. Yeah, probably going to do it right here. I'm not messing with these seat brackets. I'm glad I just caught on to that. I'll just cut it right across. Take this whole section out. The goal is to take that entire section and move it straight up into the firewall. Straight up. Like that. Then I'll trim out the tunnel from the firewall, and she should lay where I need it to lay. Engine is sitting a little higher than normal, 3 inches off the ground. The tranny pan is. Cross members sitting a little higher, which is good. We have the room inside of the engine bay. And the reason for the engine sitting in its location clearly is because of the exhaust manifolds, being that chassis rail is so narrow. What I could have done is, hindsight's 20/20. This arc could have been lower, maybe 4 inches lower, and that would have played a big role. But regardless, it's not going to hurt me. Kind of talking to myself. Sometimes it helps when you talk to yourself. You got to figure out what's next. What am I doing? Blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, it helps talking to yourself. I find I do that a lot, very often. Nothing wrong with it, but happens. Again, I've got some hearts that I got to cut out for the wall up here, but I've been very busy. I got to play catch up because Saturday, going on vacation, going on a cruise. My wife and I for 5 days, 5-day cruise. I want to say, check out my fridge. Ooh wee! Got the pickles for the hot summer days in here. Some Slim Jims, some real salty Slim Jims, and some tasty beverages. We're all stocked up. So yeah, probably gonna end this video once I get this firewall cut out and floor. But so I can start making a video for, well, I won't have anything, so it won't matter. Yeah, we're gonna go on a cruise. Had it booked for a few months now. Looking forward to it. Need to get away and clear my mind. Sometimes you just got to do that, you know. Oh, show you something I built. Made a little rack for my Keurig. Buddy of mine gave it to me, Mr. Herman. Thank you very much. If you're watching the video, put a smiley face down below. And my tasty beverages. So now for me, Keurigs is more of like a, I don't know, like a in the moment kind of thing. I prefer my Wawa coffee, but if I'm really fiending for a cup of coffee, the Keurig will do just fine. So enough of the damn chip chap. Talking too much. Let me get back to work. All right, I took my time, drilled out all the spot welds, split the pan from the firewall, and I'm gonna go hop it inside there, lower the truck down, and cut this whole section of the floor out. That way we can get the body onto the chassis, see how everything fits. I'm gonna have to trim the opening, and I'll figure out how much exactly I need to trim by doing this. So it's all about baby steps, taking your time. I mean, look, at the end of the day, it's great. I've got a lift, but regardless of the fact that whether I had a lift or I didn't have a lift, this still has to be done this way. So just wanted to point a couple of little things like this out. You know, take your time, do it right, don't rush it. And at the end of the day, when it's all said and done and it lays on the ground, she's gonna look pretty. All right, guys, we finally got it. Got the body hanging just, let me see if I can get in here, below the chassis. Very nice, very nice. I've been fooling around with some stuff. S10's a little different, obviously. I mean, they've been done before, but I have not done one before. A truck is a truck. It's all the same shit. I have the motor sitting as low as it'll go. This size booster, which is pretty standard, will not work. Gonna need to run a low intake manifold. Probably like a Holly, one that curves down, or a LS6 style intake manifold will work out perfect inside here. Very expensive, but need to do some repositioning on the table as far as the rear end. Just ignore that, just pay no mind to it. But yeah, the body is looking good. This is gonna be it for this video. As you'll know, I'll be going away for vacation. Finally, gonna treat myself. My wife and I, we need it. 5 days. Believe we're going to Bahamas cruise, Carnival. Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, and something else. Yeah, something else. Dude, it is hot as shit in here. My apologies for the fan. 95-ish in here, I want to say, right now. So, anyway, have a great day, evening, week, weekend, month, all that stuff. We'll catch you on the next one. Don't forget, comment down below, subscribe. If you are not subscribed, if you find my content cool and useful, other than that, we'll catch you all on the next one. So, deuces.